Hi everybody, I'm Bill Sanders and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today we're going to take a look at Adam's, what we might call a beginning collection, but it's got a very good beginning. It just doesn't have a lot of watches yet. The first one is a Tissot Luxury Powermatic. And this watch, I had done a sort of a little video on Powermatics, and sort of a good place to start any collection. Powermatic 80 is based on a 2824-2 ETA, a very common one. But they've done some interesting things, and Tissot worked with ETA on the actual development. So it wasn't some off-the-shelf movement for Tissot, but rather both Tissot and ETA are part of Swatch, and so they did work together. Now, the interesting thing about this one is that it runs at 21,600, and your typical 2824 runs at 4 hertz instead of 3. Well, I like the lower hertz a lot more for several reasons. One, it doesn't beat up your movements as much, and it lasts a lot longer. That's how they doubled it from 40 to 80 hours. So it's not just an off-the-shelf ETA. The watch itself is to me is one of the most very perfect office watch. You're not trying to show off, but on the other hand, you want a nice watch, and I think this little Tissot fills the bill very nicely. Now, this next watch is a Loom Tech M77, and it's another one that runs on ETA. And the thing that's interesting about Loom Tech is the two things. First of all, they use a number of different metals and even ceramics, I believe, in this particular watch. This was a gift from Adam's girlfriend. Sounds like a keeper to me. And it's interesting. It's at 4:30. It's got a little angled date window, and I don't know why. I always like those 4:30 date windows. And this one's easy to see, very easy to read. I mean, really something. The other aspect of Loom Tech that it's known for is the loom part, and Adam said it looks like a headlight. So I think shines very brightly at night, and so I think it sounds like he's got a great girlfriend there. All right, next up is another one I like a great deal. This is an Omega Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch Hezolite. Hezolite refers to the type of glass. Instead of using the sapphire, the Hezolite was much more realistic in terms of what they used when this watch went to the moon. Stainless steel, hand wound, 48 hours, 21,600 again. There's another 3 hertz one. It's got a chronograph function to it. Now, the caliber is the 1861, which is very, very close to the original movement in the Omega when it went to the moon, 1873. Now, this particular one does not have the coaxial escapement, which is fine. I mean, if you're going to get a Moonwatch, I think a good Moonwatch is one that that is as close as possible to the movement that we're using. Now, and again, saying nothing bad about coaxial escapements. In fact, it's one I got to add to my collection someday because I think they're important to have. So this is another really nice watch. Now, this Tudor Black Bay GMT, 4 hertz. This is 70-hour power reserve, COSC certified. It's got the caliber MT5652, which I think Tudor did with Breitling, and either Breitling used this one and has another one that they use, I forgot, but they got together on this one, which I think is good. I like to see companies cooperating to make better things for us watch collectors. This also has a GMT function. This is a very nice little watch. It's a very solid watch. When I say little, it is 41 millimeters, so it's not a itty bitty watch by any stretch of the imagination. And COSC certified. It's got a date at 3 o'clock. That red, I guess it's a snowflake hand, sort of red orange snowflake hands, is what's used for their the GMT hand. Anyhow, it's got the Pepsi bezel on it with the blue and red, or the Coke bezel, however you want to call it on that one. Solid watch. It's got a rubber strap, so you can actually use it for a real sports watch. Now this final one is a Maurice Lacroix Masterpiece Loom Retrograde. Stainless steel and a caliber ML104, and this is based on an ETA 6498-1, which is the one I absolutely love. This has got a 2.5 hertz, like all of the great watchmakers have in theirs. If you get a Kerry Boot and Lannen, you're going to get this, and Gronfeld, all of the big important ones have that 2.5 hertz or 3 hertz. Great watch. Now, the thing about this is that Maurice Lacroix has very good quality watches. Their movements, that it's sort of hard to tell where their own movements start and the other ones leave off. They're not exactly as forthcoming as they should be about these. And this is a wonderful watch. I mean, it's got a bi-retrograde. It's at the up at between 9 and 12 o'clock. It's got the date, and then at 6 o'clock it has the day, and then at between 1 and 3 o'clock is the power reserve indicator, hand wound, moon phase. I mean, they really, you don't take an out of the box 6498-1 and put all of that on it. It's got a lot to it. I'm also in honor of Adam's collection. This is my Maurice Lacroix, and it has a Jacquet 736 in it. This is my little passion for it. So this, I think, is a wonderful watch. It's a great selection. None of these are crazy expensive, which is a good thing. You don't want to spend more than you can afford to spend, and if you're getting started, there's nothing wrong with going slow on this. Adam did say he would like to add some high horology watches, and some of the ones that he's considering are an Omega Speedmaster diver, 300 meters. He likes blue, which is as good a reason, I guess, as any, and that's certainly got a nice blue dial on it. Also, he says Grail watch is the Vacheron Constantin Historique Americain in 1921. That was my Grail watch for a while, and I finally got it, but I tell you, it's certainly a nice Grail watch to have. Hand wound, the 4400 movement in it came out with the American 1921. So it was, I mean, they sort of grew up together, so to speak. I think it's got great taste here in terms of recommending watches. He's got pretty much the bases covered. I think for moving into high horology, there are a lot of ways to do it without going to the poorhouse, and so it's a kind of thing, and especially with this would be for like something with a nice dress watch. Right off the top of my head, I think Calatrava, but that's always a nice watch. All right, they do tend to be expensive. One other one that you don't have to buy a brand new one. They are very expensive. Another couple along those same lines for getting into high horology, I consider Jaeger-LeCoultre a sort of a step into high horology. Uh, Glashütte Original, they have some beautiful watches. I think that might fill the bill on that. You know, it does come down to, you know, your own resources and, you know, and your own tastes and stuff. But there are a lot of choices, and there's plenty of time. There's no rush to make to have to make any movement on a watch. So Adam, I think you're off to a great start. I would recommend this to any beginner to take a look at this. Look what Adam has, and I think I think you're going in the right direction. So, anyhow, as always, if you'd like to send in your collection, there's a little link at the end of this video, shows you where to send it or get the information for getting a video ready. And if you'd like to subscribe, this is an invitation to do so. Until next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Side, the art and science of watch collection.